Hi, welcome to lesson 33, session 4. This is the very last lesson in 5th grade Ready Classroom Math. We have made it all the way to the end of both of our books. I mean, there's a few pages, but we're done. This is it. You just have one more unit test and then you are done with all of the 5th grade math. Now, you may not be done for the school year, of course. However, you are done with all that you needed to learn in 5th grade. And now, if you've got extra time, maybe your teacher will be working on 6th grade math. Who knows? But the point is that you have made it, and I'm so proud of all of the work that you've put in this school year. Today, we're going to be taking everything that we've learned over the last week, and we're going to put it into our nice, neat little package. That's the last time I will say that. And we're going to show all that we've learned about analyzing patterns and relationships. Remember that today is the refine session. It's the last session of the lesson, and so I don't do the problems for you. I just walk you through. I give you a few notes, and so at any point in time, feel free to pause the video. If I'm moving too quickly for you, pause the video, get the notes written down, and then press play and get to the next one. We'll be working today on pages 697 through 700. Oh my goodness, I just can't even tell you how happy I am that we've made it to the end. So go ahead and turn your Ready Classroom Math workbook to page 697. All right, so on page 697, we see this problem. It says this: one pattern starts at 0 and has a rule of add 8. Another pattern starts at 0 and has a rule add 4. Write each pattern of numbers. How do the corresponding terms in the numbers compare? Show your work. I didn't realize that I did this for you, so you are getting so lucky. So the rule 1 is add 8 and rule 2 is add 4. And then you start at 0 and we go out 4 terms. So, or 5 terms, excuse me. So I already did this for you. I didn't even realize I did. You got lucky today. Must be so happy it's the last lesson. Now, the rule, so I want you to look at this, use this sentence frame to show how the corresponding terms in the pattern compare. So rule, add 8, that's this rule here, is blank times blank, then rule, add 4. So if we're looking at the corresponding terms, rule 8, add 8, we'll call this rule add 8. Yeah, I like that better. All right, so rule add 8 is how many times blank, then rule add 4. You just need to fill in those 2 blanks. All right, for number 2. Identify the pattern in each column of the table. Complete the X and Y columns of the table. Use those columns to write ordered pairs in the last column. Describe the relationship between corresponding terms in the patterns. Show your work. So when X equals 4, Y equals 1, and then you show it this way as an ordered pair. When X equals 8, Y equals 2, X equals 12, Y equals 3. Remember that you're looking at the rate of change from one term to the next in order to figure out what the rule is to complete the table. So if you go from here to here, what is the next number going to be? You might want to write in what your rule is for that term and what your rule is for this pattern. Figure out what your rules are and then write your ordered pairs. And then I want you to fill in this sentence frame. The X term, that means the blue term, is blank times blank, then the Y term. So what do you notice when you look at the X versus the Y, the 8 versus the 2, 12 versus the 3? What do you notice? Number 3, the ordered pairs 212, 318, and 424 are formed by corresponding terms in 2 patterns. How do the terms of the patterns of the Y coordinates compare to the corresponding terms of the pattern of the X coordinates? So the Y coordinate is blank more than the X coordinate, or the Y coordinate is blank less, or you look at it and you see which one makes sense. Now, Mike chose C as his correct answer. How did he get that answer? So if he's correct, then show me how he got that answer. If he's incorrect, then show me what you think he might have done wrong. Number 4, look at the patterns below. Choose true or false for each statement. You have pattern A and pattern B. First, what I want you to do is figure out the rule for pattern A and then figure out the rule for pattern B. Then you will, if it's true, you're going to circle true, and if it's false, you're going to fill in false. So the rule for pattern A is multiply by 2. So for pattern A, do you multiply by 2 to keep moving from term to term? Make sure that you check 2 or 3, you check like maybe 2 or 3 of these to make sure that you look to see what the rule actually is. And you're going to choose true or false for each of those sentences. Number 5, Cindy and Dawn make these number patterns. Cindy's rule is to start at 4 and multiply by 2. So we're going to start at 4 and then multiply by 2. And you're going to move up like that. Dawn's rule is to start at 28 and subtract 4. So she starts at 28 and then subtracts 4. So each time, Cindy's going to multiply by 2, and each time, Dawn's going to subtract by 4. I want you to go ahead and fill out those terms. Then I want you to answer this. Are there two corresponding terms that are the same? So when you look at each of these corresponding terms, are there any that the x value or that these two values are the same? Yes or no? And then tell me what you see. Number 6, the table shows the terms of a pattern of x coordinates and a pattern of y coordinates. What 2 rules were used to make the patterns? So look here and figure out what the pattern is going from each value over. Then look at the y and see what the rule is. And then write down what each rule is and then find the correct answer. For number 7, use the rules add 2 and add 5 to make 2 patterns that begin with 0. Use the patterns to complete the table. So here you're going to add 2, here you're going to add 5, and then you're going to make the ordered pairs. For part B, you're going to graph each of these ordered pairs on the graph here. Your x-axis always comes first. Your y-axis is always the second number. What do you see? Tell me what you see in the picture. Letter C, describe the relationship between the corresponding terms of the patterns. So you would say, I'll even give you the sentence frame. The y coordinate is blank times blank, then the x coordinate. You could write your own sentence if you want, but that is a sentence frame to help you out. And then finally, for number 8, use the graph of the corresponding terms in pattern A and pattern B. Use this graph, okay? Write the first 5 terms of each pattern. Explain how you found the terms. So we know that this first term is at 0, 0. So you're going to look, and you're going to look at this next dot. Now you know that the x value is 3, and the y value is 2. So you're going to put a 3 on the x value and a 2 on the y value. And you're going to do that for each of these terms. And they want you to do the 5th term. But as you can see, the 5th term isn't there. So you're going to need to figure out the pattern and then put in the 5th term for the x and the y value on your own. And with that, you will, as soon as you finish doing this on your own, you have reached the very end. You have made it. You have been successful in completing a whole year of 5th grade math. I really am so proud of you. If you have any questions, you can always email your teacher. Otherwise, I will not see you next time. Have a great summer.